maybe it's Nancy, but she's got yarn. I have no idea what date it is. I believe it's Saturday morning. Actually, it's Saturday afternoon. I woke up at noon. Well, we sprung Dad from the big house last night. I tell you what, teaching hospitals are good hospitals. I agree with a lot of people, but if you're really sick, it's a great place to be. Especially if it's, those places are for the sickest of the sick, you know. But the night before last, they were supposed to discharge Dad, but then they were like, wait a minute, we're still waiting for pending stuff. Because he's got heart issues and the history of bladder cancer with infection. So anyways, so they were going to discharge him home, and we discussed rehab at home, not going to rehab. So we went up there yesterday morning. I don't know what time it was, but we missed the doctor, of course. But my dad had called and said, you guys get up here so we get this paperwork done and I can go home. And I said, so you're going home? He said, you can go home. He said, yeah. So we get there, and no, they're gonna send him to rehab. And I'm like, what? No, he's not going to rehab. This is my dad, you know, won't go to rehab. So we had to get case manager, which took 2 hours to come down to the room. And I'm like, she goes, he said he okayed rehab. She goes, I was right here. I said, no, he didn't. He's right here. It was like, you're talking to a man that's been sick. He's been confused. You know better. You need to be talking to family. So, to make a long story short, we had to wait for orders for discharge. He didn't have discharge orders to go home. My hair's all messy, y'all. I haven't brushed my hair. I woke up like this. I'm in my clothes from yesterday. I spent the night at my mom and dad's. I didn't have a bag. I have my crochet though. I have 2 bags of crochet. But I can't crochet on one because I gotta be videoing while I'm crocheting. Oh, the next thing, they bring his discharge papers. They go over everything with me, and I put everything in a bag for him. I get him extra tubing because I brought my concentrator from the house, the oxygen. I'm kind of glad to get it out of my house. I keep moving it around. It's in the way. You hate to get rid of something like that because it's real expensive. It's like $1,000 machine, but you're like, I want to keep it around because I might need it again, you know? It's one of those what ifs. What if I need it? I love that new channel. I gotta remember her name, but she's in my phone. And she actually commented on that last video I was talking about her, that new channel I've been watching. It's really good. I want to ask her a question. Her mother's blind. Made me think of when I was working in oncology. This kid was blind that I was taking care of, and anyways, I worked him up, talked to him, had a few little laughs, got him in a room, and my office manager goes, come here. She goes, he's blind, not deaf. You're screaming at him. I said, am I really? She goes, yeah, you're like hollering at him like he can't hear you. That's terrible. It's not funny, but it is. 30 years later. Oh, goodness. They sent him to a pediatric oncologist. I think it was a mistake. He got sent to our office. The hospital referred him to us, and it's like, he had the coolest spirit of a kid. And he would come into the office and he'd wear like wigs down to his elbow long, like hippie wigs, and wear like a trench coat. He made the best of it, him being bald and blind. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Uncle Greg. But that his home. We sprung him from the big house. It was like an act of Congress. Wait, I still didn't finish. After we get the orders, we wait and the nurses bring the discharge papers. We wait another hour to an hour and a half. I'm like, I go out in the hallway and I go, where's transport? I can't see at night. I told you that when I got here. He needs to be discharged before sunset. And she said, okay. I said, look outside. Do you see that big red ball there? I said, it's going down. So I waited about 15 more minutes. And, you know, they're really nice. And I was being nice. I wasn't being rude. I probably was being annoying. So I went out to the desk, and there's a girl answering the phone. And I said, look, you see that wheelchair right there? I'm fixing to kidnap it. And I'm taking my dad downstairs. I said, I cannot see to drive at night. And he's being discharged. She goes, oh, give me 1 second. I'll be right there. I said, you're going to be transporting him down? She goes, yeah. She goes, I'm answering the phones too. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So what it is, it's a holiday. So they're working on a skeleton crew. Yeah. We got him. There I go again. Anyways, we got him downstairs. Then I had to wait for valet to get the car. I don't know what football field they took it to. It took forever to get my car. I only did valet because my mom made me. So we took him to mom and dad's, and it was so late. I had to stop by the feed store and get 2 bags of feed and worms for the peacocks. They were out of food. And my dad he used to be a farm hand that worked for us. He's a neighbor's son, been in and out of trouble for years. He's a farm hand for my parents. He comes and helps my parents, but my parents have taken care of his mom and dad for years while he was away in the big pen. We'll say the gray bar. And so I guess he feels an obligation to help my parents out now. His mom is still alive. She's in her late 90s. And I'll never forget one time I made a comment. We need to sell the farm and my parents just need to move to High Springs or something like that. I just made a comment. She called me. I guess somebody got back to her about that. She called me. She said, oh, please don't take your mom and dad from me. I said, I guess I can adopt you too. But her son he's out and he's doing really good. He's a little older than me. He was so popular in high school. Like the girls were just crazy about him, and smart, and he was married and had kids and fell into that drug hole, and it destroyed his whole life. Well, it dismantled his life, and I'm sure it did his family. I'm probably saying too much. I didn't give you his name, but now he's good, and he helps mom and dad out with, like, today when I left, he was putting all their plants inside the garage, and he's going to take care of the birds and fish. I mean, it's not that hard. It's just getting out in that cold weather to do it, twice a day. It's cold right now, I think. Well, it's cold to me. It's 59, but it's going to freeze tonight. They predict a freeze. So we got to get the plants in. We got to bring the animals in. There's no animals out. We don't have farm animals anymore, except the peacocks. That cold air makes your nose run. But right now I'm headed home. Because I miss my babies. I miss my hubby and my babies. Somebody asked me about, where's your husband? Does he not go to Thanksgiving with you? It's like, yeah, but Thanksgiving was kind of weird this year. We didn't know what we were doing. What the original plan was me and my husband were going to his family at noon. His Aunt Margie's in her late 90s. So we don't know if we'll have an opportunity next year to spend time with her, because she's the only aunt left. So, but I couldn't go because of my dad, because we thought we were taking him home the other day. So I just stayed with my mom. You know, we stayed and waited and found out they weren't going to discharge him. Basically, that's all we did was sit around and wait. But my dad is doing better. He's weak, but he's walking on a walker. He's doing good. From the hospital to the wheelchair was really not easy, but he did it. I have those suicide handles, which helped him get in here. And then when I got him out at the house, he was a little weak, but this morning he's pushing that thing around. Last night he was pushing that walker around. He has this walker. It's too big for the house. It's an extra large one. We got to get it's almost like handicap width. We need to get one that's a little more narrower, because it won't fit in the bathroom. I don't know. I might talk to my husband about making the doorway a handicap doorway. Maybe we can widen it. Maybe my son-in-law can install it. I don't know. That's the spare bathroom now. The main bathroom, I don't even know if it has a door in the master room. It does. I've never seen it shut. They have a big bedroom and a big walk-in closet with a big bathroom. All of them are connected. So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. He's home. He's hooked up to oxygen. His sats were 89. We don't like him in the 80s, so we got him. We're making him wear the oxygen. He was fighting us, but he's wearing it this morning. I don't. I'm going to go home and try to crochet and video, and I'm probably going to fall asleep if I sit on the couch. I was looking at new couches last night. Man. Now this couch, if I get the couch that I'm wanting, it's expensive, but it'll last forever. Like, it'll be my couch till they can bury me in the couch. That's it. But you can replace the covers individually in the units, and it also has storage underneath. Big plus. I haven't even gotten all my yarn in that I've ordered. Oh, I think I'm gonna try to be good and let's burn some of my stash for a little while. I've got lots of yarn to share with you, different yarns that excuse me. Where'd that come from? It comes from cats, from the farm life. My mom has cats and dogs. I think I'm a little allergic to the dander from the cats, because every time it isn't while I'm there, but right after I leave her house, it's like my head closes up. Weird. My mom and dad inherited my dad's father, my grandfather, my dad's dad. Him and his wife passed away a couple years apart, and cats live a long time. But my mom inherited, I think, 2 of my grandfather and his wife's cats. And then my mom had 2 of her own that I rescued many years ago. Well, actually, she lost the last one. I think she's down to 2 cats. The 2 that I rescued, they lived to be 20. Yeah, this cat we called her Two-Face. One side, she was a calico. One side was black, and the other side was calico orange. We called her Two-Face. But yeah, my girl, one of my friends, her cat got pregnant, and they had a bunch of kittens, and they had a couple left, and they were going to take the cat to the pound. And we debated back and forth. I said, that's a kill shelter. He said, no, it's not. They'll adopt him out. And I'm like, no, it's a kill shelter. So I ended up taking him to my mom's. I didn't even ask. She took him. Had him declawed, fixed. And the other one was orange. Her name was Chloe. And Chloe was declawed, but she kept escaping. She wanted to be an outside cat. And a few years ago, she lived to be old, but a few years ago, she never came back. And I told my mom, I said, you can't let a cat out with no claws. They have nothing to defend themselves. But she says she escaped. My mom said she didn't let her out. So, but she was a good mommy to them for many years. Yeah, my house, no, I can't. No bueno cats. I can't do cats. I've got dogs. That's enough. Nothing against cats. I love cats. I love all animals. But I'm a true dog person. I love dogs. I love horses. I have dogs because I can only afford dogs. I could probably have one horse on my property, but that's not big enough for a horse. 2 acres? Nah. You need at least a minimum of 5 acres for a horse so he can run and have plenty of grass. The girl next door to me when I first moved there had a horse. I think she might have had 2 horses. That horse was always getting sick from sand in its belly. Couldn't call it. One time she went on vacation, that horse was laying there, and I'm like, that horse is sick. So I took it upon myself, even though the neighbor didn't like me. Usually my neighbors, if they don't like me, it's because they don't like my dogs, which is fine. And at the time I had little Jack Russells. Nobody liked me because my little Jack Russells were butt heads, but I loved them to death. So I jumped the fence, I went over there, and I pulled that horse up, and I walked that horse, and I walked that horse. And I called my girlfriend, whose mom was a vet, and they came over, and she was sick. She was better. She gave her something. I can't remember what they gave her. I was like, what could happen? The horse would have laid there and died. So, yeah, it's not normal for a horse to just lay there. I mean, they sit up, but this horse was like laying there all day and all evening, and I'm like, something ain't right with that horse. So the next morning, I took the initiative. I usually now, after she left, she wasn't very nice. This lady was not nice, but I don't think she was nice to her animals. Then she goes and gets 2 more dogs, and she didn't take care of her horse. That was my theory. Moving forward, the neighbors, the guy that bought the house from her was really nice. Him and his wife were really nice people. I gave them a little puppy, Labrador. I had a litter of puppies. They took it home, and the next morning he goes, you can have her back. She cried all night. He says that dog peed, pooped, and cried all night. It's funny, but yeah, they were really nice people. But he worked for a car dealer, and he had to move. So now we have the new people that live next to me. I don't know them very well. They have the annoying dogs that have the annoying bark. The dogs don't bother me, but they have a very annoying bark that drives my son Joey crazy. Joey's like, Mom, how can you stand that? I said, what can I do? It's not illegal to bark. Oh my gosh, Woodland. This is a restaurant. It was a gas station. Well, that's good. This little town, Archer, has nothing in it. It has a grocery store, gas station. They sell sheds, and now they have a restaurant. Awesome. I think there's a bar back 2 blocks back and an Ace Hardware, but there's not much in Archer. It's like one of those small little towns you just drive through to get home. There's a Mexican restaurant. Okay. What was I talking about? I squirreled. We're talking about the neighbor. Well, the neighbor that I have now, I know her father. He lives 3 houses over. So if I see something going on, I call him to tell him that there's a TV left out at the gate by UPS and it's pouring. Stuff like that. Or the gate was left open and the dogs are out. I called him last week or week before last about a TV. He goes, I'm going to have to give you their number. I said, I don't mind calling you. But yeah, I don't know. When I was younger, I socialized a lot with neighbors and stuff, but today I don't have time. I wave. That's about it. The neighbors on the other side of me that bought the house from an elderly lady, they have little Jack Russells, but they're never there. They have, I think they travel. They have like a bus, and it's gone most of the time. I think this house is just a place for them to rest their head, and then they're off. Kind of what Lynette and her hubby are going to do. They're going to be traveling in their RV, but they're going to find a place where they can park. It's, you know, when they're sick of traveling. I think after a while, I have no desire to ever travel. I don't know why. I'm a homebody. This is insulated and it's cold. I think it's because my mom made me transfer what I had in another cup into this one. She's like, that's my new cup, my good cup. And I'm like, Mom, it's a to-go cup. She goes, I paid $20 for 2 of those. I said, I'll pay you for it. No, I'll find you a cup. If I ever get a favorite cup, it disappears. So I just buy the disposable ones. I know it's probably not good for the ecosystem, but I recycle. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I need to get these nails done. The technician's gonna laugh at me. He laughed at me last time. But I had filed them down. I haven't started filing on these yet, but I cannot type with them. They're too long to type. I don't know how people type with those long nails. These aren't even that long. They're what I used to function with my nails like this long all the time. I don't. Now I have them. I get my nails done and I have them, trim them all the way to my finger. I don't want them long. Here we go. Passing Grandpa. I'm following other cars. There's about 4 of us just passed them. Yeah, it takes about a good hour to get to my house from my mom's. I should be home by 1. It's 12:30. This road is a nice road to travel. It's kind of scenic, and a lot of people don't travel this road so much like they do the other roads. Like I guess people could take this to get to Gainesville or Newberry, but most people are going into Gainesville they work. Yeah, this road isn't, don't tell anybody. I'm not going to tell you what road I'm on. It's not many people know about it. It runs along a railroad. A railroad track that I don't even know if it's working. Yes, it is a working railroad. I take that back. I don't catch the train very often, but I have. It runs into Newberry and it crosses over. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. I canceled it. Not tomorrow. Monday. I canceled it. I don't feel like. I have 2 appointments next week, and I've told myself I'm only doing 1 appointment a week. I am not doing 2 appointments in 1 week. It's just too much. I have a dentist appointment. I'm like, already? It's that time already to clean my teeth? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. It's a lot better than it was years ago, but and this girl, if I'm sensitive, she stops. I slept over at Tiff's house and I watched Yellowstone. Man. Now I want to go home and turn it on. I'm at the part where I guess the main character, Kevin Costner, was murdered, and now the kids are like putting it together. They know, well, the sister knows that the brother is part responsible for the death of his father because he wouldn't look her in the eye and deny that he didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't kill his dad. His girlfriend did, or whatever she is. That's a pretty flagpole flag. A big old black flagpole with the American flag. It's new. It's pretty. It's nice where they put it. I'm gonna turn the heat on. My feet are getting cold because I got the air on. We got a box. Iggy. We got a delivery. It's no red tape, so it's gonna be German. It's my Christmas advent from Russell. It's raining yarn. Oh. All right, be back.